Good evening, welcome in RTD's newsroom for this evening edition. The headlines of this Monday, December 13 is: the first development annual forum takes place today at the Kempinski Palace Hotel, and the main purpose was the aid coordination dialogue.
Thanks to join us. The first development annual forum has been held today at the Kempinski Hotel, jointly organized by the Ministry of Economic and Finance in charge of the industry and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in charge of the international cooperation. First of its kind has been chaired by the Djiboutian Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the member of the government, ambassador and head of mission of PTF, bilateral and multilateral territorial authorities, and representative of civil society and private sector took part of this important event. The annual forum has to promote the dialogue between the government and the PTF in the context of the national development strategy shaping the Djibouti 2035 vision, and including in the strategy of accelerated growth for employment for the 2050 to 2019. To inform on the assistance coordination and the progress made by the implementation of a national strategy to promote the mobilization with the PTF of human and financial resource contributing to put and open the development strategy to issue to the attention of the government and the PTF the which and recommendation on its effectiveness. The executive and the follow-up will be provided by the Committee for Strategic Coordination. Indeed, the framework of the dialogue has the purpose to facilitate the mobilization, coordination and effective use of external aids contributing to the implementation of the national development policy.
And the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, has said the two ministerial departments have joined their effort to implement the launching of this program, but also its mechanical operation to see the light. Major actors of the civil society as the private sector have the role to play. He did not fail to thank people who came in order to take part at this first development annual forum. This gathering, he said, will be an opportunity to promote the dialogue between the government and the PTF in the context of the national development strategy shaping the Djibouti 2035 vision and inclining in the strategy of accelerated growth for employment for the 2015-2019 scape.
The Minister of Finance and Economic in charge of industry, Ilyas Moussa Dawali, has said that is in quote, "If we meet here today, this is to ensure that the 2035 vision does not remain a hope of a vague souvenir. This dialogue framework is not intended to replace all form of consultation, whether if it will be the project steering committee, the major donor carry check, the joint commission in other."
And in his intervention, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed has expressed and said that this strategy has been a vision of the head of state to create jobs. This will result from the major project the country is undertaking and will have a positive impact on the national economy known as SCAPE. This strategy will give many opportunities. Fighting unemployment is a way to fight migration and terrorism. The SCAPE project requires 250 billion Djibouti francs. I'm calling, he said, the investors to redouble their relentless effort in order for this issue to be resolved and to attain the primary objectives. The sustainable development that will be obtained with this solution will contribute peace not only in the region but also to consolidate the regional integration of the Horn of Africa.
Very expected by the population of Djibouti and Ethiopia, a ship carrying the locomotive landed this morning at the port of Djibouti. In total, this boat was carrying 28 locomotives, including 22 electric locomotives and 6 other diesel locomotives. A large Chinese delegation in Ethiopia, including the Ethiopian Minister of Transport, and at this Djiboutian side, the Minister of Transport, Mr. Ahmed Moussa, the Director of the Transport, Mr. Ali Ahmed Yusuf, and the General Director of the Port, of Djibouti, Mr. Saad Omar Gili, was present at the arrival of this wagon. This new railway line will cross mainly the city of Djibouti and Ali Sabih through the community of Nagad, Holhol and Dasbio before joining the connection point with the Ethiopian rail at the border in Galilee. Important Khalifa human resource will return to the capital soon, but for the moment they are in training in China and in Addis Ababa.
The Ethiopian Transport Minister Workin Gabayau, delighted by the finalization of this project, gave us his thought. Let's take a listen.
Honored to be part of this event of receiving electric locomotives, diesel shunting locomotives and wagons. This is one of the milestones in the railway development program of these two sisterly countries. So I'm very pleased because we are going to finalize the infrastructure of the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway with new population, and arrival of these locomotives will facilitate and expedite its operation. So I'm very happy.
The Minister of Transport, Mr. Musa Ahmed Hassan, has recalled in his speech that this new electric railway link in Djibouti Addis Ababa is a resumption of railway activities that will create jobs for the young people qualified in this area. Even this is a historic moment and the first locomotive that is unloaded here in the port of Djibouti. It's also the attestation that the project for the construction of the railway line continue in a satisfactory manner. We are satisfied that with the progress and a large number of wagons are already available today. The other rolling stock will soon arrive. We will soon proceed to the development of this line, which is a finalization phase. At the present time, and finally, the trade flow are going to be able to start for the freight as well as for the passenger. And we have a human resource qualified because many of our young people are in training in China in particular. These human resource will be available from the beginning of the next year.
Diplomatic now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs Mohammed Ali Yusuf and the Minister of Cooperation Ahmed Ali Silai have received this morning a Japanese delegation led by the Parliamentary Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan, Mr. Hitoshi Kikawadu. The meeting was conducted along with the Ambassador of Djibouti in Japan, Mr. Ahmed Arrete. The objective of this meeting focused on the progress of projects in progress and the follow by the project financed by the Japanese government through the JICA, the Japanese Agency for Cooperation. But elsewhere during the meeting, the two ministers discussed with the Japanese delegation about the existing bilateral relation between the two countries and the means for the strengthen further. Let's note that the ambassador of Japan in Djibouti has participated in this meeting.
And after the meeting between the two ministers, Djibouti and the Japanese delegation, led by the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Ahmed Arwiti, has given us his opinion on the state relation between the two friendly countries and gave us detail on the Japanese delegation visit. The visit on the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs in charge of Parliament met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and that of Cooperation focused on the way and mean to strengthen and future consolidate the bilateral relations which are already excellent. The contribution and support of Japan are recognized here in Djibouti, and this relation will be extended in various areas, particularly in the private sector. Of Parliament and Japanese businessmen will come tomorrow to discuss how could develop the geothermal energy in Djibouti, which is a priority for the government of Djibouti.
Has now its surgical operation unpublished, the first of its kind in Africa, which has been held at the regional hospital of Arta, reconveyed to the CNSS, the National Social Security Fund. It's an operation to remove a bladder cancer using a cutting-edge technology performed by track endoscopy. In other words, it will not interfere in the human body. Everything happened by endoscopic track. That's to say, with the pistol, we introduce in the genital organ of the patient a tube with camera. The tumor is then destroyed using the electrical current. The operation was carried out by a surgeon urologist, Dr. Hassan Abdurrahman, who has done his studies at Val de Grace in France, supported by anesthesist responder and the medical staff of the Arta hospital. Let's bear in mind that this hospital has been reconveyed to the CNSS. The operation lasted 1 hour and 30 minutes and the tumor was destroyed. A success, explained the urologist Dr. Hassan Abdurrahman.
News release, the General Hospital PTA Direction is informing the population and the press script that the biochemistry laboratory of the hospital perform of the jurisdiction balance sheet of the morning as well as afternoon from 4 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. The balance sheet are available as the follow: clinical hematology, the serology, white blue cell, red globule, clinical biochemistry, microbiology, clinical immunoserology, cardiology.
Still on the national news, the Association for the Promotion and the Protection of Minor Children in partnership with UNICEF has organized this morning a workshop to raise awareness on the rights and the justice of the minor children in the municipal library of the commune of Bolhaus. Several prominent personalities took part in this workshop, including the president of the association, Mukhtar Mahmoud, the representative of the UNICEF, the president of the commune of Bolhaus, as well as members of the neighborhood association of the commune of Bolhaus. The objective of this workshop was to improve the understanding of rights and justice of minor children in accordance with the national and international provision, and also to establish a community network of protection of children's rights. This action is in the framework of a partnership project with UNICEF. The association has handed over the registry for the responsible of the brigade if the rights of the child are well respected. The president of the association, Mukhtar Mahmoud, has underlined the importance of this workshop and the existence of many international rules which deal with the justice of the children. They explain how a state should deal with children who came into contact with the justice, whatever the reason may be, also what characterizes the child and it's his youth and its vulnerability. In fact, they can protect themselves. One of the participants at this awareness workshop affirmed that all minor children deserve to be protected in accordance with the national and international provision. We are protesting for a long time for the establishment of a community network. The president of the Bolhaus municipalities has, for his part, hoped that the cooperation between the association and the civil society will be strengthened in order to improve the protection of a child.
After the region of Dikhil, Tajura and Obok, the three young people continue their mission of information in the region in order to comply a book of goal intended for the President of the Republic, where will be comply all the grievances of the region people. This group of young people went to Arta to meet the community leader and the elected representative. Aramis, Ziad and Mukhtar have initiated this interesting approach to meet the Djiboutians who live in the most remote area. The three young people who meet through the social network specify that their approach is apolitical. The popular encounter have also appreciated the initiative of these young people. They have encountered in Arta the notable and the president of the regional council, Mr. Omar Jama'udawa, who are interested in this initiative of participatory democracy. The three young note and record the expectation of and requests of the people encountered in a book of gold that they hear back to the president of the republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Gile, to raise awareness and to alert people to their real concern of their fellow citizens. These young people are planning to continue their tour by visiting soon the region of Ali Sabih. This was the English news. Thank you to follow us.